Hello, my name is Michelle Cisneros, and I'm the lead news editor for The Nexus.
Hi, my name is Wynne Bendel. I'm the university news editor for the Daily Nexus.
And we're here to talk to a UCSB student and local Ivy resident about housing conditions.
And to share some local resources about housing in Isla Vista. We're here with one of the residents of this house. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
And could you tell us a little more about being at UCSB, your majors?
Yeah, I'm a fourth year. I'm a sociology student. We live in a shack adjacent property. All of our floors are uneven. We've been not struggling, but embracing a lot of nature. We have skunks, we have raccoons, we've caught several mice as well. It's been interesting, to say the least.
And how did you find this place to live in? What was the application process like? How much time did you have to sign the lease and everything?
Yeah. I mean, the housing in IV is very, very scarce, I would say. Like, you find something and you're like, we're gonna take it, we've gotta take it. Unless you find something where somebody's like being more responsive, but our landlord was pretty responsive. And two of the girls that currently live here were the ones who found the lease. And then they were like, we gotta fill the house with people. So we found it. Most of us were like, this is good enough. There's not too many other options that we would have loved, so I was like, you know what, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. When we first moved in, our landlord was telling us about how our house was built on a skunk's ancestral home, and we've had generations of skunk families living under and in our house. So we have a little cat door on the outside of our house that lets them go out. They seem to have broken the door down. Mm-hmm. It used to be like a flap type of thing, but they seem to have broken it down. They are determined to stay.
Has your landlord tried to call like animal control or anything to try to get the issue under control, or has that been up to you residents to deal with?
He's done a little bit. It's more of like us pushing him to. He doesn't think it's that big of a deal until like we get sprayed. So, I mean, we've been trying to emphasize to him, because we've gotten sprayed twice in the past 2 weeks, that it's pretty important to us, but he's still like, we have to try these other solutions first. We've seen several mice. We see them on, I would say, a weekly basis. We caught one eating out of the cat food once, and then he backed himself into a corner, and I sort of just caught him in a cup and released him outside. And then we saw them again later, and they sort of just run around the house frantically, looking for food. They hide in the fridge, in the oven, under our big appliances. I'm not too stressed about them. I think they're cute. But they're here and there. All throughout the house, we got new floors. Since we had a new lease, we got new flooring. And we got new carpets as well in these rooms. If you can see, there's a step here. None of our floors are even. There was a floor in one of the singles, and her floor was so uneven that her door wouldn't close. So when the builder was here, he just ripped up the carpet, took out the stuffing, and then stapled it back to the ground. So there's a part of her floor that's completely like hard. You could knock on it and have like a solid knock. When I lay in my bed, there is an active slope. I've seen my roommate, one of my roommates and I are the same height when we stand. When she stands on the other side of my room, she is 1.5 inches shorter than me. When we were here hanging out over the summer, some old tenants came by and they were telling us that when they lived here, the floor in the bathroom fell through and they just had a hole in the bathroom floor for a couple of weeks. Later, our landlord decided to fix it with a Rick and Morty dye table. He just stuck it in the ground and then put tiles over it. So they said if we pull the tiles up, we'll see the dye table. I choose ignorance.
And have there been any other, maybe like appliance issues, water, plumbing, anything like that you've run into, or is it most strictly like the floors and the animals?
We had a gaping hole under our kitchen sink because the plumbing, the drain under coming from the sink faucet was leaking, and it rotted all of the wood under the sink. And so it had just become like a gaping hole to the ground. There was a cinder block in there, we discovered. But we sort of just had that for months until our landlord decided that he was tired of us emailing him about it and came to fix it by just screwing a piece of plywood over it.
So how long would you say when you put in a maintenance request or email your landlord about an issue in your house, how long does it usually take to get the issue addressed?
Probably about at least 2 weeks. It takes some time for him to either genuinely realize that it's a problem, because we'll have to email him multiple times about the same issue for him to actually make like a permanent fix. He rarely comes to the property to fix anything. He has a property manager that lives in Isla Vista. He lives on Sabado, who will come over and fix our things for us. He'll just pop over on his e-bike. I think we're the first all-girls group to live in the house. Like, I know they've done like co-ed and things like that here before, but I think he had said something along the lines of like, we're the first all-female tenants to live in the house. So it seemed like he was a little more inclined to like make it clean. But like we still had, when we first moved in, we had mold. I mean, the day we moved in, our move-in day, we were supposed to have brand new floors, but he scheduled the flooring to be done our move-in day. So we had to, one of our roommates was just sitting on the curb with her car full of her stuff on move-in day waiting for him to finish his things. And he was like, well, that's just the way it went. And we were like, well, if we moved out a day late, you would have charged us. So it's just things like that where it's like not necessarily fair, but we deal with it because we have to.
Do you feel like outside from your landlord there are other resources available to you, your tenant, other tenants in this building, like Isla Vista Tenants Union or through the university?
Yeah, I know we're all very aware of certain resources. We haven't specifically reached out to them just because of the time and all of us just having different responsibilities and different schedules and things like that. But I think we're definitely all very aware of it and are very close to starting to use those resources as well.
According to previous data analysis from the Nexus, roughly 50% of reviews left on Yelp, Google, Facebook, and Reddit, among others, are considered negative or have a complaint. Notable words of the most frequent complaints were management, rent, deposit, and fix. From 2015 to 2021, the cost of renting a 2-bedroom apartment increased approximately 34%. In 2022, median rent in Isla Vista for a 2-bedroom units of any housing type are higher than for any other locality in the Santa Barbara area. According to bestneighborhood.com, the average house in Isla Vista was built in 1973. The average age of residents in IV is roughly 20 years old, which means a lot of residents are first-time renters, and there is also a high population density. Several resources, such as UCSB's Rapid Rehousing Program and IV Tenants Union, are available to students facing housing issues. Read the Nexus interview with the Isla Vista Tenants Union for more information for first-time renters.